Does your child have an IEP? Then you've come to the right place. If you're moving to a new district or a new state, then you need to do very specific things. Why? Because IDEA law protects your child, but one small mistake and your child could lose special education services for weeks, if not months. You don't want this. That's exactly why inside this video, I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to transfer your child's special education services to your next school, lay out what your new school must do, and most importantly, explain how to protect your child's special education services so you can advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button to get more videos like this in your inbox, and check us out on Instagram at Rise Ed Advocacy. Here's what you need to know. Individual education plans, also known as programs, are also called an IEP. The problem is when you move schools or you move districts or states, your child's records have to be transferred manually. Here is where the problem lies, is that so many times working as a special education advocate and as a school psychologist for years, here's what happens. Parents forget to check a box or the school forgets to send some of the records, and your child might not have special education services for weeks or months. Why even risk it? That's exactly why I'm so glad that you're watching this video, because I'm gonna tell you what to do. Case in point. IDEA law mandates that your new school provides comparable special education services without delay. What am I saying? Pro tip. I'm saying that your new school must provide comparable services without any waiting or without a grace period. Translation, your child's IEP does not expire. However, your child's new school can rewrite the IEP or even request additional testing. More about this in just a minute. Perhaps you're watching this video and you're like, you know what, April, I've got an IEP meeting coming up. How can I advocate? That's exactly why I want you to check out my first free guide that gives you 7 steps for a successful school meeting, so you can have all the tools and the resources that you need. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. Okay, let's dig in. When your child moves public schools to a different district or a state, your child doesn't lose special education protections. In fact, IDEA law is very clear and has both federal and state explicit rules to protect your child and spell out what your new school must do. These are called transfer student provisions. If your child moves to a new district in the same state, here's what must happen. Number 1, your new district must provide identical special education services, supports, and accommodations without delay. Number 2, the existing IEP remains intact as written until your new school revises it. What am I saying? The new school must adopt the old IEP or propose a new one. But what about if you move to a new state? IDEA law in this case is very clear and says that your new school must provide comparable services. This means your new school can conduct a different IEP or propose new special education assessments. However, that school must provide written notification, also known as prior written notice, and get your full consent if they're going to update testing. What does this all mean? Your new school can't stop services if they say the IEP is overdue or deny implementing the existing IEP until after the special education assessments are complete. This also means your new school can't say, oh my gosh, the IEP is too old, it's expired, so we're gonna have to go back and start the whole thing over again. Or they can't say, you know what, we can't implement these services right now. Your child has to wait to get the services until we hire the new person or the new professional. It all comes down to knowing what to ask for and how to get it, and that's exactly why I want you to check out my entire playlist on Ideate Law that spells out FAPE and LRE and all those other provisions that your child deserves. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you know about Ideate Law when it comes to transfers for both in and out of state when your child moves to a new district. This is exactly why I want to show you step by step how you're going to move these documents. Step 1, make sure to gather records. What am I talking about? You need to get your child's existing IEPs, meaning their most recent annual IEP or what's called a plan review, also those addendums, the most recent triennial or reevaluation, and of course the most recent comprehensive special education assessments. You're going to want to get both digital and hard copies from your child's current school. Number 2, notify your new school that your child has an IEP during the enrollment process. What am I talking about? So many times when I was a special education school psychologist, I would see new families come into the office and they would get a packet or they would get an online packet and there was 1, maybe 2 boxes. You want to look out for those boxes that you need to check saying, hey, my child has an IEP. So if you do the enrollment online, make sure you check every box. If you go in person to deliver anything, make sure to tell the office manager, also known as a registrar, hey, my child has an IEP. Is there anything I need to tell you about or give you so that you can know that my child has an IEP and everything gets transferred? Step 3. Once enrollment is complete, you're going to provide the evidence, meaning you're going to get digital and hard copies. You're going to send both of these sets to your school administrator, usually the vice principal or the principal, and you're also going to submit this to the school district office. Usually there's going to be a special education department chair. After you do this, you want to make sure you send an email to confirm that they have received both sets of those documents. And most importantly, step 4, connect with new staff and providers at your school and verify services have started. What am I talking about? Pro tip. Once your child begins attending their new school, you're going to email the principal or the vice principal and say, hey, who are the new providers that my child is working with? Please give me their contact information. Then you want to reach out to them to verify that those services have been initiated. I can't tell you how many times as a special education advocate and even as a school psych, I've seen so many students start and it takes weeks, if not months. Remember what I talked about earlier, that there can be no delay in the implementation of services. So you need to make sure to follow up with the school to make sure that those services have been initiated and have started once all that documentation has been submitted. Step 5, and the most important one, you're going to reach out to the entire new team and say, hey, When are we going to convene the next IEP meeting? So here's what you want to do. Pro tip. Look at the current IEP that you gave to the new school and check on the next annual or plan review date. That's the date that technically they have to reconvene. However, more than likely you're going to want a meeting before that. So you want to reach out to your team and say, hey, when are we getting together? Let's meet. My child just moved here. I want to review the services. It's one of the most powerful things that I recommend to my families all the time. So now you know what to do. Let's talk about what you don't want to do. Specifically, the 3 biggest mistakes that I saw as a school psychologist and an advocate for over 20 years and you want to avoid. Mistake number 1. Not notifying the new school during the enrollment process that your child has an IEP, even if you think they may not need it, and not reaching out if you think that something might not be going well. Mistake number 2, assuming that IEP paperwork is going to transfer automatically and waiting for your school to follow up with you. Nope. That's not the easiest way, and that actually proves so many times counterproductive when you wait for them to follow up. And mistake number 3, not following up with the district if services didn't start. Here's the deal, pro tip. If services didn't start and it's been weeks, if not months, you can't just reach out to your school. You need to go to the district level and to the very top, because already there's miscommunication at your child's school. And if you continue to communicate with the same people who aren't solving the issue, it's not going to change things. So that's when you go up the chain of command and speak to someone at the district level. So what if your child's current IEP or the new one that the district proposes is a mess? What do? That's exactly why I want you to check out my next playlist with 5 videos that spell out how to fix your child's IEP step by step and gives you all the tools and the resources that you need. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So let's do a quick recap. You know about IDA law, how to transfer your child's documents step by step, and all those mistakes that you want to avoid. Now it's time to get real and talk about the elephant in the room. What services can change when your child goes to a new school district or a new state? So like I mentioned earlier, that current IEP remains in effect in its entirety until your new school adopts a new IEP. Once this IEP is held, that's where services can start to change. So here's what you want to do. If your team is convening a new IEP and they're talking about changing eligibility, they're talking about decreasing related services, if they're talking about exiting your child or saying they no longer qualify for a special education IEP, or most importantly, if they're changing your child's placement, especially to a more restrictive setting. Here's what you want to do. You want to disagree with the IEP, and that puts it into stay put status, and you're going to put that disagreement in writing, and you are going to request for additional testing. Why do you want to ask for more testing? If your team is talking about changing placement or services, eligibility, or even qualification for an IEP, this is the time where a special education assessment is required under IDA law. And that's exactly why I want you to check out my additional testing request template. Inside my fillable template, here's what it walks you through. How to request for additional testing. It spells out how to ask for specific testing or comprehensive testing, what you want the team to review and consider in terms of the scope and sequence of the assessment, if you want drafts before the team reconvenes a new meeting. And the best part is it attaches to your child's educational record. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you know the cans and cannots of special education services when your child transfers to a new school. Let's talk about what you do if your new school is denying a service or delaying the implementation of the existing IEP services or accommodations or other parts of the IEP. So, if your school is having a new IEP and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that, or we don't feel like your child needs it, or we're going to change it, then they need to give you prior written notice that I already talked about, also known as PWN. I've got a free guide that spells out the 7 parts of prior written notice so that you can request for this from your school and you can know how to read it. So if your school is denying you, they have their right that they need to submit this to you, and you know exactly how to read and how to request a prior written notice. Tip number 2, if your school is delaying the implementation of services, you want to request a new IEP. And inside the new IEP, you have the right to request and tell the team, hey, you're not implementing these services. When are they going to be provided? Am I going to get compensatory services? What are you doing to remediate my child's unique learning needs and address the current IEP as written? It's one of those powerful things that I recommend to families every day. So let me ask you something. Have you been trained to look at what an IEP looks like, and more importantly, how to read your child's IEP? I know they're so challenging. I know they're so difficult. And that's exactly why I want you to check out my entire playlist that helps you look inside the IEP and trains you how to read your child's IEP page by page, so you get a ton of tools and tips to advocate like a pro. Grab that link in the description box below. So now we've reached the most important part of this video. How are you going to jumpstart your advocacy? Before I dive in and give you my favorite resource, I want to do a quick recap and give you a checklist. Now that you know you have all the stuff to do, here's the 3 most important things I want you to remember. Number 1, you're going to gather the records of the sending school. Number 2, you're going to send the records of the receiving school. And number 3, you're going to get confirmation at the new school in the district level that all the records have been transferred, received, and the services have been started. So now that you know all this, let me ask you something. Do you feel like you can meaningfully participate at the table? Are you walking into IEPs like I did all the time for so many years, and you're like, what is going on? How come everybody else has the paperwork except for me? And that's exactly why I want you to check out my 1-day parent participation workshop. Inside my 1-day workshop, it walks you through how to attach what's called a parent letter of attachment, how to communicate differently in writing, how to create what's called a parent report, and most importantly, how to communicate easier and without stress with all the different providers so that your child can get the best IEP. And most importantly, you know your rights and you know how to advocate like a pro. Grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what happens if your child transfers to a new district or a new state, what your new school must do, and most importantly, step by step for how to transfer all the paperwork so that you can advocate like a pro. Let me ask you something. Do you have a question? Are you having a difficult time transferring your child's records? Make sure to put it in the comments below and indicate your state or area so that I can give you the resources and I respond to all of your questions. Do you want me to do more videos? Put that in the link as well below so that I can expand on more what I've talked about and give you the support that you need. Like and subscribe to get more videos like this in your inbox, and check us out on Instagram at Rise Ed Advocacy. Grab all those links below so that you can get the tools and the services and you can advocate like a pro. I'm April Rare, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.